which is going to be on the topic Build Resilience in the Cloud. Well, I'd request the audience to please use the Q&A tab to post your questions during the session. It will be picked up and answered by the speakers at the end of the session if time allows. Also keep remembering to check your My Chat screen as well. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, now we have with us Eddie Susanto, the Director Cloud and Enterprise Business Microsoft, who's going to be our speaker. Well, Eddie, as a senior business leader in Microsoft Indonesia, has more than 20 years of industry experience and joined Microsoft for the past 15 years, managing various leadership roles and responsibilities. Currently, he leads the Specialist Sales and Technology Group, and he's responsible for developing the market for Microsoft Cloud and helping customer partner for digital transformation. He's somebody who oversees business of cloud services, cloud modern workplace, and AI, and advocating Microsoft strategy and GDM strategy for cloud sales and adoption. Eddie is passionate about technology and implements the right strategy, partnership, and applied right technology to maintain values to customer and partners. So thank you so much, Eddie, for joining us today. Over to you.
Hi, thank you.
Very good morning.
Very good morning. Good afternoon as well.
Good afternoon, yes.
Yeah. So, okay, let me start sharing it. But yeah, if you can see my slide, then it will be good to go. Good, thank you. So, selamat siang Bapak dan Ibu. Good afternoon. First, I would like to thank you, World Show organizer, for having me today. I'm Eddie, and with Microsoft. I think we are typically being very, very optimistic and bring high hope when we are started a new decade. And this year is quite a different time for us. We quickly show the world is regardless the boundary, regardless of the nation, is come to praise. Is confronted by the public health and economic situation. As a leader in your capacity, definitely you are quickly find a way and necessary action to ensure your business continuity in place. Amid the challenge, and as we navigate the response, recovery, and reimagine pace, we all have a collective opportunity and responsibility to define what comes next. We know it won't be a business as usual. We will need to develop an acute sense of what should be rebuilt and what should be reimagined and what should be left behind. As we are looking at these three stages, respond, recovery, and reimagine, let me take a look at the first one, respond. So basically what we are talking about the respond is that adapt and respond to immediate challenge in a real time. For example, enabling the remote productivity and business continuity, providing your remote workforce with the more secure work environment. This is to ensure your business productivity. Second, probably it will be minimize the operational disruption by always continue managing your costs. Now, when you are shifting from the response to recovery, we definitely see that we want the business to return to scale quickly, adapt the product, services, and business model that include the value and cost reduction and also very possible the restart in the customer demand. So what you should prepare in this situation? There are a few items that you can take a look at. Number one, because we understand that this situation will be not immediately disappear. So number one, crisis communication and sharing. This is allow your employee to be informed and also has the ability to quickly share critical information across and also collect real-time feedback from the operational safety and processes. Another aspect of this recovery is also how you can quickly onboarding with the digital learning tools. How you can pivot this new type of work with intelligent training and support. And when we are shifting from the recovery to reimagine, this is the place that you might thinking or imagine and positioning people, process, and technology for growth looking at the new opportunity to build the new resilient in the new normal. So for example, transforming the culture of work, enabling the data-driven culture for decision-making process, and another part is using advanced AI to infuse into the daily operation. When we're talking about the current situation, we definitely see that the technology sector is big and is projected to grow even bigger. But as per current day, we see the 5% of the GDP, global GDP is for the tech industry around 5%. And we are projected that to be at least 10% to 2030. And this pandemic situation has been accelerated the long-term trend that we have anticipating so far. Why we are so optimistic in that way? Because just to share a few items in this case, right? The recent survey of the CIO is stating that the 89% say that they will accelerate it in the public cloud investment. This is actually significantly up compared to the previous one, which is 54%. We also see the adoption and data and AI is increasingly as the differentiator for every business. In a multi-sense, multi-device world, we just allow the customer, partner, and community to collaborate it. We are looking at how the remote working environment securely making all the employee, partner, and community more effectively in collaborating. So all this trend is actually fundamentally reshaping all the industry across the public sector, across the private sector as well. While this pandemic situation has taught us that there are no business 100% resilience, but the industry or business that using digital technology, we find out is more resilient and more capable of transforming their business process when something structural change in the marketplace. This is what we call the tech intensity. And we believe every organization in every industry will need to embrace the tech intensity inside their organization, inside their community, in order to be successful and grow along the line. We in Microsoft Indonesia, through the initiative that we call Berdayakan Indonesia or Empowering Indonesia, we have a few key pillars inside this Empowering Indonesia: technology innovation, skill employment, modernization education, and AI for Indonesia. One of the pillars is modernization of the education. And part of the commitment is that I'm proud to say that we do have the Microsoft Learn. This is an interactive learning platform for everybody. Here you can find the cloud skilling for Azure, the cloud skilling for Microsoft 365, Power Platform, Dynamics 365. And with that, you can extend this one to all your members, basically to learning towards the tech intensity. This is a free program from Microsoft. You can get all the learning. You can also join the certification later on. Our collective opportunity is to channel the intelligent cloud and intelligent edge into the tech intensity for every business on the planet. Now, if you haven't looked at the Azure in a few months, you may be surprised to see what we have this day. This is a high-level map of the class of service that we offer. We have well over 200 service and capability. In the last year alone, Azure has released over 1,000 of new capability across our infrastructure, to the database, to our platform. We have new capabilities from AI to blockchain, to Kubernetes, to container and database, and more to ensure that we are keeping you ahead of the curve. Azure support open source technology. So you can use the tools and technology you prefer. You can run virtually any application using your data source with your operating system on your devices. We are supporting infrastructure as services on Linux, Java, PHP web application platform. You can develop and test your Linux application and open source component in Azure. And also, just for your information, inside the Azure is more 50% of our compute and server in Azure actually running on Linux. So it's a massive support from Microsoft to the open source ecosystem. You bring the tools you love and skill you already have, and you can run virtually any application using your data source as well. You will see as well, we have a DevTools, DevOps, and with the investment on the GitHub, it is also something that we are pushed to the market, which is very well known to the audience here. And one other note here I want to emphasize is that you will notice that we are extending our capability to the edge, the ability to run application code in the hyperscale cloud. Not only that, but it is also seamless, consistent way in the edge. We are committing the investment on that front, whether it will be the Azure Stack, Azure Sphere, or up to the mixed reality capability. These all powerful edge devices that works seamless and connecting directly to the cloud. Now, when we are talking about the digital transformation, we are sharing what we are calling the digital feedback loop, or DFL. The DFL is basically, we are centered around the data and AI, which will get information and signal from everywhere from the software infused source, bring it together, and is facilitating all the 4 pillars of digital transformation. Number 1, how you can get insight from your customer. Number 2, how you can get insight from your employee. Number 3, you can get insight from the operation. And with all the information that you're collecting, with the AI, machine learning, predictive, you can create the new product or transforming the new product. Okay. Expand a bit on this diagram. So this is a cloud platform for Microsoft. We do have many solutions that is incorporated into our cloud. Microsoft 365, for example, this is a solution that you can use to empower your team to collaborate. Dynamics 365, Power Platform, GitHub, and Azure, all across this is building on the foundation of the security, compliance, and identity. Okay, you can just start the journey of all the solution by adding the workflow to Power Automated. You can build the entire apps on top of it using the Power Apps. You can integrate this one into the teams and collaborate with others in your organization. You can add advanced scenario using the Visual Studio with the Azure Cognitive Services and with the teams to help you managing the workflow. You can use the GitHub action to do the CI/CD and deploy to Azure automatically. All of this development can be done in the browser as well with the code space. And all the data produced and managed by these apps can go directly to Azure Synapse and being reported in Power BI and generated the insight with the Dynamics 365. So the holistic view of this building block is giving you the ability, integrated, secure, compliance, to create application, to manage application, up to collaborate between employee, customer, partner, and your ecosystem. With all the assets that we have, of course, currently you see the business is not usual, is a new normal. But in another aspect as well, customer and partner is also considering moving to the cloud because of this item. Number 1, there might be some hosting currently exists. They want to consider using the hyper cloud. That's number one. Number two is that they are considering the more prudent and the more business continuity that they can have from the hyper cloud, such as Azure. The third one is basically how to turn the CapEx to OpEx. Number four is very relevant because it is around the cybersecurity. This is even more relevant with the current situation with the COVID enabling the remote worker. Number five is that you want to have the scale of the web apps and the infrastructure. And that definitely considering the resource and budget constraint. Okay. Now, with all the technology that you just saw in the building block, this is one of the examples that recently Microsoft being announced, how we are with the Azure tech in the cognitive, with the machine learning and the video analytics is basically able to identify the what we call the deep fake. This is basically, if you see, from two types of video, Microsoft with its technology able to detect which video is being compromised and being changed. All the assets that we are put into place to detect this type of misinformation is sitting on our cloud. To enable all this capability, we operate globally. As of today, we do have the 61 Azure region worldwide, which is all have more than 90 plus compliance certification. If I deep dive a bit on this information, we do have 61 Azure region, a bit of stat, more than 130K of miles of fiber and subsea cable across the world. We do have 168 sites across the world, and we have more than 200 plus express route partners. That's also across the world. So we are the biggest cloud compared to any other hyper cloud currently. And this is also combined with our investment and commitment in terms of the security. We do have the Microsoft Cyber Defense Operations Center, which is fully equipped with the employee and digesting more than 6.5 trillion global signal daily and more than 1 billion annual cybersecurity investment. This is very important because with the global scale of Azure operation, any unsolicited attack across the region is definitely can be our learning to be distribution as well to another organization. So it will making us move faster and also giving more value to our end customer and partners. As you can see also in the slide, we are comply with more than 90 plus compliance offering across the globe by industry, by region, and also by the country. Now, how we are taking the advantage of this infrastructure to making sure that Azure is resilient against all operation mode. From the design and from operate and from observe. So by the design itself, we are having the high availability network design. We are expanding the availability zone, and we have the data and storage protection. From the operate itself, we put the safe deployment practice here, zero to low impact maintenance and machine learning driven failure prediction. It means that we put all the machine learning and prediction into the context of operation, so it can detect automatically what happened in the operation in our backend. And also we do have a service halt alert schedule event that is actually transparent for all the end user and customer and partner that are using our service. So with all these three, it's actually giving you a foundation and also commitment in terms of the how Azure is operate. Now let me take a few minutes to share what is the customer journey here in Indonesia. Of course, this is just a few names that that I share. We have a lot to share basically, but I picked this one because it actually very nice about the story. So number one, everybody know about Pertamina. I think this is one of the largest state-owned enterprise in Indonesia. Recently, during the COVID situation, we are, as Microsoft, we are helping Pertamina to onboard in the Microsoft 365, enabling the collaboration between the employee partner. What interesting in the Pertamina journey with M365 in the cloud is that they are using this one is not only for the internal collaboration, but to some extent, these are being used for internal meeting around the religion type of activity. So they are conducting the prayer activity across all employees inside the Pertamina. Okay. So the prayer led by the local religious leaders in like Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist employed to strengthen the company cohesion. Now, second, GNA. I think GNA is also very well-known names in the Indonesia. So as the largest courier company in the Indonesia with more than 40,000 employees across the island, GNA is rapidly transformed themselves digitally to meet the challenge of the COVID-19 pandemic. With that mandate, basically GNA working with Microsoft team to implement the Teams and Kaizala to collaborate online and remain connected in order to support frontline staff. Not only that, GNA is also embracing the cloud to increase the efficiency for the last mile with the couriers. They also quickly create the application in the cloud with Azure DevOps that accelerate the development of application into just few days to help increasing the productivity of their existing workforce. This system also was put through its phase when the government is appointed GNA to deliver social assistance in form of thousands of ton rice of the greater Jakarta area. So very proud of this, this use case. The third one is that I want to share is the Atmajaya. I think Atmajaya recently is receiving 5-star awards on the online learning category by the Kia Stars. This is an international university ranking agency with more than 15,000 students divided into 28 faculty and 2 campus locations. Atmajaya has made quick decision to change how the lecture process being conducted from on-site to online during the COVID-19 situation. Fortunately, this one is supported by rapid development of the digital technology. So Atmajaya working with Microsoft Indonesia is embracing the learning management system on the cloud, which is allow them to collaborate between the Azure and also the Office 365. So it creating the robust learning management system environment for the Atmajaya. So that's the sample of few case study that I want to share today. We do have many others that is on the really good story, but that's for today. Now, a few points that I want to share. So as you can see, right, we span from the Azure with the Azure Synapse, we span from the identity, compliance, security, Teams, Power Apps, Power Automate, and so. So the whole capability in the cloud is totally integrated with the common security, identity, and compliance. So the intent from Microsoft, as in this case, is to achieve our mission to empowering every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. And we are enabling that through what we call tech intensity. With that, we are expecting to have these 4 areas to be covered. Number 1 is inclusive, trusted, right, and sustainability. Inclusive means that our investment of the technology will be also assessing the accessibility and disability of people. Trusted, it means compliance and also secure. It covers the fundamental rights of human rights. And we also has been declared that we, on our all infrastructure, we want to use the carbon neutral infrastructure. So with that, with this item, we are expecting to achieve our mission to empower every person and organization in the planet to achieve more. With that, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Eddie, for that incredible presentation. Once again, welcome to the World Cloud Show.